What's up, you guys? It's Steve here, and how would you feel about getting an extra $300 per month from the federal government to help combat these increased gas prices and inflation? Sounds good, right? Well, we're hearing that in the past 24 hours. This is looking more and more like a reality right now. This is your breaking news stimulus check update and stimulus package update. And take a look, you guys. Articles coming out like this every single day now. Democrats push for $300 a month in stimulus checks to help out Americans struggling to pay for sky-high gas prices as a gallon of gas soars past $6 a gallon in LA. And 73% of voters say that they back tax breaks. That just came out yesterday. That's on a federal level. Now, also, states are proposing their own stimulus checks as well. Take a look at this one, you guys. U.S. states seek to ease inflation burden with direct payments, aka gas stimulus checks. Governors and state lawmakers throughout the U.S. are floating proposals to send checks to help residents cope with soaring inflation at a time when state budgets are bursting with cash. Unbelievable. Right now, states have a surplus. Usually we have deficits, but right now they're saying they are flush with cash, and they're looking to send out more stimulus check payments to help out Americans at this time. Now, we're hearing this is likely going to be needed. As I mentioned, in the last 24 hours, a lot has unfolded with Russia and Ukraine that's going to be impacting our economy. Take a look, you guys. U.S. formally declares Russian military has committed war crimes in Ukraine. Breaking news coming out yesterday. I'm going to be sharing with you some video footage, and Russia has responded back. Take a look at this. European gas prices jumped after Putin says that unfriendly countries must pay in rubles. And yes, gas prices as a result in Europe have jumped up pretty significantly. And we're expecting that with the way things are going, it doesn't look like these are going to be coming down anytime soon, which they're saying is going to apply even more pressure on Congress to pass more stimulus checks. So you guys, I'm going to get you caught up on the latest. A lot of new details coming out in the last 24 hours about what's happening with Russia, Ukraine, and the need for more direct assistance to help out Americans at this time. So let's go ahead and dive right in. But before we do, just also wanted to mention, thank you so much for all the support on the second channel, Steve Ram Finance. And if you're somebody that's interested in learning about growing wealth and personal finance, consider joining that channel as well. We're going to be uploading a lot more content on there, so keep an eye out for that. Also, updates on our new flip project. So if you're interested, check out that channel. I'll pin a comment down below. You can click the link, go subscribe, turn on notifications. But right now, let's get you caught up on the latest economic news and what's happening with those stimulus checks. And before we dive in, if you could do me a quick favor, just takes a second. Don't forget to smash that like button for me. Helps out the channel. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Also, leave your comments, share this out. If this is your first time here and you like to stay up to date, totally free to do so. All you got to do is hit that subscribe button, turn on that notification bell. You can come join the Ram fam. I'll keep you up to date on everything going on. And if you got any specific questions for me, I'm easy to get a hold of directly. All you got to do is hop onto Instagram, shoot me a DM at my profile at SteveRam3. But with that being said, you guys, let's go ahead and dive right in and get you caught up on the latest. All right, so first up, link in the description below to this ABC News article that just came out about an hour ago today that says U.S. states seek to ease inflation burden with direct payments, aka stimulus checks. And we're hearing this is becoming more and more likely. I shared with you in my video yesterday that we've actually had 3 bills released by Congress. They've actually put together legislation, and they're trying to push for more stimulus checks for Americans on a federal level to help combat these increased gas prices and inflation. So this is looking more and more like a reality, and especially as we get closer to those midterm elections, we're likely going to be hearing a whole lot more about this as they want to remind people to vote in their favor to keep them in power. Now, the article says that with inflation raging and state coffers flush with cash, governors and lawmakers across the U.S. are considering a relatively simple solution to ease the pain that people are feeling at the gas pump and the grocery store, and that is sending them money. At least a dozen states have proposed giving rebate checks of several hundreds of dollars directly to taxpayers. Among them includes California, Kansas, and Minnesota. And those of you here on the channel that follow, you know I've been sharing with you all the different states that have been mentioning this at this time. There's about a dozen of them now. Critics, including many Republican lawmakers, say that those checks won't go far enough given the pace of inflation and are pushing instead for permanent tax cuts. Let me know your thoughts, you guys. One of the proposals said $300 a month. Another one said $100 per month per person. We before had calls for one-time $2,000 stimulus checks. Let me know, what do you think would be best to help people out at this time? Now, in addition to direct rebates, lawmakers and governors across the country are considering cuts to sales taxes, property tax relief, and reducing or suspending state gas taxes. So a lot of modifications being proposed to help out people at this time. Now, the proposals come at a time when many states actually have too much money on their hands because of billions of dollars in federal pandemic aid and ballooning tax revenues. And as you guys know, the last stimulus package we had, the American Rescue Plan, had $350 billion allocated to go out to states, counties, and cities to pass their own packages. And in many cases, we've seen new state stimulus checks, but we're hearing that there's still a lot of leftover funds. As a matter of fact, I've shared with you here on the channel several times, there's over $800 billion of unused stimulus package funds just sitting there. Just to give you an idea of how much that is, that could provide a fourth and a fifth $1,400 federal level stimulus check. So a lot of leftover funds, and people are saying, hey, why don't we take that money and use it for stimulus checks so that way we don't add to the debt or inflation, but still can provide some form of relief. Let me know your thoughts, you guys. And it says it's also happening as war in Ukraine has compounded soaring prices for fuel and other essentials. And we're hearing that this is adding even more so to our inflation issues. And that is why yesterday we heard that this is likely going to be causing us to need more direct assistance even more so. Take a look at this, you guys. The U.S. formally declared Russian military has committed war crimes in Ukraine. The article says that the U.S. government has formally declared that members of Russian armed forces have committed war crimes in Ukraine. Secretary of State Anthony Blinken said in a statement on Wednesday yesterday. The official U.S. declaration that Moscow's troops had violated the laws of conflict comes after Blinken, President Joe Biden, and Deputy Secretary of State Wendy Sherman all said that it was their personal opinion that war crimes had taken place. Today, I can announce that, based on information currently available, the U.S. government assesses that members of Russian forces have committed war crimes in Ukraine, Blinken said in a statement. Our assessment is based on careful review of available information from public intelligence and sources. So you guys, this was yesterday, and we heard that Russia has already responded. We're going to be taking a look at that, and this is going to be adding even more so to inflation and increased gas prices. Take a look at this video footage, as they also announced an emergency meeting right after these statements.
Breaking news, President Biden and 29 other world leaders are meeting behind closed doors right now for an emergency NATO summit, exactly 1 month after the Russian invasion of Ukraine. President Biden is set to speak. Ukraine's Volodymyr Zelensky also expected to deliver a virtual address. It follows the formal declaration from the United States accusing Russia of committing war crimes, but not Vladimir Putin directly. The evidence against Russian forces continues to pile up with new attacks on civilians. However, there are signs that a counteroffensive from Ukraine is working, with the U.S. saying Russian forces have been pushed back outside the capital.
So there you have it, you guys. And Russia has already responded. Take a look at this article, link in the description below. European gas prices jump after Putin says that unfriendly countries must pay in rubles. Take a look at this. This is just going to be adding even more so to the need for financial assistance. European gas prices jumped on yesterday, after Russian President Vladimir Putin said that unfriendly countries must pay for gas in rubles. Some European countries, such as the United Kingdom and the Netherlands, saw their wholesale gas price up 30%, according to Reuters. The ruble also went up to 97.7 against the dollar, although it's still down 22% below its value pre-war. These actions occurred after Putin announced that gas needed to be paid in rubles in retaliation for the sanctions that the West have put on Russia. Unfriendly countries include the United States, members of the European Union, Britain, Japan, Canada, Norway, Singapore, South Korea, Switzerland, and Ukraine. Putin said that these countries have made illegitimate decisions on the so-called freezing of Russian assets, and it makes no sense to give goods and not receive payments in rubles. So there you have it, you guys. Looking more and more likely that there's going to be some form of direct payments, stimulus checks going out on federal levels and on state levels to help out people with these increased gas prices and inflation, which we're hearing doesn't look like it's going to be going away anytime soon. And with the news we got about Russia in the last 24 hours, things might even increase more, and they're going to say this is going to be needed even more so. Now, I will keep you up to date here on the channel as this is developing. Like I said, new information, new stories coming out every single day on this, and I will keep you up to date so that way you know what's going on. And as always, you guys, thank you so much for joining me. If you made it this far and you haven't already, don't forget, take a quick second, smash that like button for the YouTube algorithm. Helps out my channel a ton. If you appreciate the content, I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Also, leave your comments, share this out if you think it's going to help out other people. If this is your first time here and you'd like to stay up to date, totally free, come join the Ram fam. I'll keep you up to speed on everything going on. Just hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you're notified right away of what's happening. If you got any specific questions for me, shoot them to me in the DM on Instagram at SteveRam3, and consider joining my second channel, Steve Ram Finance, to learn about growing wealth and personal finance. But with that being said, you guys, thank you so much for joining me once again, and I'll catch you in the next one. Take care. God bless. This is Steve.